Hey everybody, my name is Carter Crouch. I'm the Wildlife Program Manager for the Burns-Paiute tribe, and today we're going to be banning American kestrels. Mom and Dad are letting us know that they're watching us. We've been running a nest box program on tribal properties for 3 years. Today we're at Logan Valley Wildlife Mitigation Site up in Grant County. We've been managing and monitoring 11 boxes out here, and this year 7 of the 11 have kestrels, and we're going to ban 2 of those 11 today. All of the data we collect is shared with the American Kestrel Partnership. They are a nonprofit through the Peregrine Fund that's compiling data on kestrels across both North and South America. So we're just a small part of the data that they're using to try to understand the kestrel decline. And we're going to get to it. Okay, so first thing we want to say is you shouldn't just grab birds out of nests. I have a master bander permit through the bird banding lab and state permits through ODFW to allow us to do this. We try to limit our interactions with them as much as possible. We collect data on them, get the bands on them, and then get them back in the nest. And I always have the paperwork with me. But this is a male kestrel. He's about 22 days old. He's going to fledge the nest here in about 10 days, if not a few days earlier or a few days later. So we're going to get a band on him. The band comes through the bird banding lab, and then we send the data through the bird banding lab. So if anybody else catches this bird or finds it dead or anything in the future, they'll be able to read the band number, report that data to the bird banding lab, and then we'll find out where this bird goes, and they'll find out where this bird came from. So bands are cheap, and a lot of people can put them out, and they don't give you nearly as good of data as something like a transmitter, but you can also do it at a really large scale and still get some pretty good data. And we're just going to get a numbered band on him. Each band is uniquely numbered. It's going to fit loosely on him to where it's going to be able to spin, but not too loose to where it'll slip over any of his joints. And there's a website on here. If you ever encounter a band, you can contact that website to report your numbers. Alright, so the easiest way to tell a male and female kestrel apart is this bright blue wing is on a male. The female is going to have a browner colored wing. We're going to look at one in a second. The tail pattern's also different. He's got a really thick dark black band and then a kind of a white edge. And he's also got spots on the belly. The female is going to have more of a barring pattern. So we'll look at one here in a second. Alright, so now we have a female. You can see you have brown wing instead of that blue wing with black barring. Their tail is alternating brown and black bands, and once she's got it fully grown out, she's going to have 5 black bands. And if we roll her over and look at her belly, she's got more of a streaking pattern instead of those bright spots. The females are also a little bit heavier than the males, and they develop just a little bit slower. So they usually have more down than a male at the same age. So one of the things we're collecting data on when we have the birds in hand is weight. So we have this fun little ice cream cone, and this one is 138 grams. So she's not really going to put on much weight before now and leaving the nest, most likely, and she might even lose a little bit of weight once she leaves the nest and has to start hunting and flying on her own. And we're also going to check them for parasites, just to get an idea of parasite loads. And this one looks clean under the wings. Okay, so a quick background for American kestrels. They are a small falcon in North and South America. They're the smallest of the falcons in North America. They're also the most common and the most widespread. And they live all the way up to Alaska, all the way down to Mexico, and they keep going south into South America as well. They're calling in the background. They live in open country. You typically wouldn't find them in like a dense forest or really heavily treed areas, but this open country like this, they like to hunt rodents and grasshoppers, snakes and lizards, occasionally birds as well, and often you'll see them perching up on a power line or a tall tree, and they like to hunt from that perch. You can also see them hovering. They're one of the few raptors that we often see out hovering over a field, pinpointing a prey, and then drop down on it. All right, well, thanks for joining us on this kestrel banding day. We banded our 63rd kestrel. We added 6 to the list today, and we'll be banding a few more in the coming weeks.